What's up, man? It's your boy Vigilante Styles here, and I'm deciding to work on a beat. So I did something on Suno, and I'm gonna try to take it to the next level right now. But I figured I'd show you guys the whole process. I mean, why not, right? So I already calculated the tempo in Edison. Shows what I did is I right clicked over here. It says 179.998. I'm assuming that's probably right, but I don't know. We also have like this silence at the beginning. So the downbeat is allegedly here. Right, so I want to line that up to right there. To one of these larger bars here. I have it on none right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to see if I can centralize over that green arrow. Yeah, boom. Okay, so now it's locked in. Let's hear it real quick. Okay, I screwed something up here. I need to detect the tempo here also. Let's set it. Now let's try to reline it up again. Okay, it's lined up pretty good now. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to this little icon right here. Extract stems from sample. I have it on drums, instruments, bass, and vocals. There are no vocals on this, but some instruments might sit in the vocal range. I do want that separated. So here we go. All right, now that it's done, let's get rid of the original file. So just delete that. Now I do want to save as real quick. Okay, new MakDon 4, and that's because I'm working on stuff for him right now. This is actually for MakDon. So let's hear the tracks in isolation. So now I'm going to clean up the AI graininess off the top. We're going to mix actual other drums with it though too. So I'm just starting with this right now. All right, I'm going to crank this up a little louder just for me to hear. Here we go. It's hitting pretty good. I want to add like a clap to that or something. Here we have for claps. That's the one I like right there. Let's put that one in. So I have to arrange everything on pattern 1 now. Sure, it's on cell. So we're doing like it's double timed right now, so that'll be interesting. Okay. Not bad. I want to add that hat in there too. Here, yeah, it's nice. It's pretty clean. Just throw that in there too. Okay, so this beat's pretty good. What I want to do now is I want to separate the sections. So it's basically mixed now. I want to separate the sections. Let's see if anything else, if I want to add things to it, make it a little bit more interesting. Let's see what we can do. that's it. I think it's done. I didn't really add a lot because most of the idea came from, beatboxing the idea into Suno and then like telling Suno to use certain instruments. And then I put it in here and I felt like the drums were like too grainy, so I wanted to add my own drums over it. And I was going to add a kick drum, but then I didn't add the kick drum because I felt like the kick drum that came from Suno was already really powerful. I just needed to bring it up more. So what I did to do that is I gave it a bell curve boost at 62 hertz, then a transient processor to really get those transients to pop out a little bit more. I really wanted it to be like the kick drum to be really punchy. Ran it into the AMEK, and I like to keep everything pretty default. Everything's pretty default here. I think this is a ratio of 4 by default. Medium attack, a pretty fast release. It's already pretty good. Like I just leave it as is and just apply the compression. I try not to be too picky about it. When I'm on instruments, I do go to a ratio of 2.2 or 2 ish. That's good. I use cymatics memory, especially on the instruments, because it's very grainy, very a lot of artifacts. And this with my cassette tape preset, this is the preset, 6 dB in, negative 10 dB out, mix 100%, noise at 54%, 84.4% on the filter, 1406 sensitivity, 7% rate, depth of 0, no double, no high pass, and smoothing at 100%, and it sounds like a cassette tape. So that cassette, and this is a free plugin, by the way, Cymatics Memory. This smooths it out, a lot of the harsh graininess. Really good, and brings out the mid range a little more. And it sounds really nice. And then, of course, it's very mono sounding, so I use the stereo width knob in the AMEK channel, AMEK 9099 channel strip, and I just push it slightly to the right to expand the stereo width just a little bit. It sounds really good. I'm very conservative with the way that I use channel strips. Because what I like about this, it's just like every other Brainworks channel strip. It already has a lot of things already on. So I'm already getting some sound shaping just by slapping the plugin on. It's already doing something. And I tend to EQ after the compressor when I'm dealing with Neve style EQs. When it's SSL stuff, I tend to mix into the compressor. We also have a final limiter, which is nice. Kind of reminds me of the Metric Halo channel strip in that respect. That I can push things hard in here, and when it goes past the compressor, it will hit the limiter. And you can get some really cool tones doing that too. Always hit random 1 channel every time I start doing something. It sounds pretty good. I use the Townhouse bus compressor for glue because why not? It's the best. The SSL style glue bus compressor. You hear that on everything nowadays, no matter what console anybody mixes on. I just cleaned up some frequencies here. Pushed a little bit of those highs down, brought that high mid up just a tiny bit, and brought the sub up a little bit too for a little bit more power. Into the emphasis final limiter, 16 times oversampling and true peak engaged. Went in transient mode, turned the envelope to 4, the hardness to 3, and then pulled it up until it sounded good. Until it was just barely smacking 0. And believe it or not, you're getting a pretty nice sound right there. So I'm gonna send this off to MakDon. I think he's gonna like this because he's very much a West Coast rapper. He lives in Arizona, in Phoenix, and you should check him out. Represents Phoenix, Arizona, and he definitely, I think you'll really like a lot of the stuff that I've produced a lot of stuff with him. He's got a lot of stuff he's done on his own too, but I definitely give him the really good West Coast sound he likes. And that's because I like it too, you know. Even though I'm in Texas, you know, we could do a lot of we could do whatever, right? We could do West Coast stuff here if we wanted to, or we could do dirty South, you know, trap drill shit. A lot of guys are doing, but they're doing that everywhere. Fuck, they're doing that in fuck up north too. So, but for me, I just I like to keep it real. I feel like for me, I feel like, well, everyone's doing it, so why should I be doing it? You know, like I want to do something different, give them that classic vibe, or whatever. And another reason too, like some people are like, well, you use an AI, that's kind of shit. Why can't you just program it in FL Studio? And I go, that's the problem. I can't program that in FL Studio. I don't have a wah guitar. I don't want to, you know, but I could just go, you know, into like Suno, just beatbox something, boom, 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 kind of go, wow, wow, and just kind of give it the wah sound, and then it'll do it. So I'm just like, that's the way to use it for making beats, man. Like to get your like core ideas out, and then take it into your session, and then add some more elements to it. And I don't feel like this needed really anything else. I mean, the other, obviously, the clap, the hat, the splash just kind of gave it a little extra. There's a couple extra things that I felt were needed in the beat to kind of make it sound a little less, you know, grainy. I really fighting that grain. I want some clarity, a little bit, a less graininess, and then, of course, to kind of bring out something with a little bit higher fidelity than what AI stems typically give you. And we created our own stems because FL Studio stem separator is better than Suno's. Even though Suno will give you more separation because you'll have each instrument separated, it's just a grainy piece of shit though in comparison. I'd rather just have them kind of together in like these little buses and then just kind of batch process them and then add a couple more tracks if need be. But otherwise, I mean, it sounds really good. I think this is definitely doable. And you got to see the whole process, including me trying to figure out the tempo, lining up shit, all that stuff. And I feel like that's really important if you're gonna incorporate AI into your production, so that you can do productions that not only sound good and, you know, have some human authorship into it, but also where so that there's significantly enough human authorship. So it's not just that I add a clap, a hat, and a splash, but I also, that was my idea. I beatboxed the idea into Suno. It's my idea. So, and then I mix it, master it myself. So, with that in mind, you can, there's enough human authorship where you can copyright your music. So that's kind of another thing that, that I'm showing here, is that there's enough of me all over this track that it's my copyright. So, and all the AI was simply another tool like I would have in my DAW to make music. So I think that's really good. Like, that's what I wanted to show you guys so that you're able to incorporate the benefits of AI into what you're already doing. So you can get the sound that's in your head to the speakers. And another thing I like about using AI, that they're my session musician, as a producer, producers typically, like the real good ones we really like, have session musicians. Another thing on the bass here, I added the Acme Opticom XLA3. This is a LA2A on steroids. It's an overdriven LA2A. And I had to dial back on the dry wetness because it was really, really, it was slamming it so hard that it was taking the bass frequencies out. And I wanted to restore some of that back, but I wanted to put some hair on that bass a little. And then of course here, and I thought because it sounded very, very narrow, I wanted to give it a little bit of stereo width. I used the stereo width button or the knob right here on the AMEK 9099 to expand it out just a little bit. So really starting to get involved in the tools. As you see, I don't always mess with these knobs here. They're already in a pretty good position for a quick, go, oh, I need more top or less top. I can do that. But I could dial it in if necessary. We got a lot of knobs. Like, I haven't really explained in detail what this thing does. This thing is like a major Swiss Army knife. I mean, you're talking about, here's your filters here. You got additional filters, which I think are applied to the gate. So this gate is really like, you have a lot of control over this gate. Right now, the gate expander is just on in its default state, which is just gating noise. And the plugin has console noise to make it sound realistic, to give you the console texture. What people don't realize when it comes to console texturing in a plugin like this is basically a virtual console, and it's based on the AMEK 9098i console. But 9099 meaning they've added some extra features that they thought the 9098i would have. I think they improved the compressor. The compressor here is actually not exactly one-to-one. The one that's on the 9098i, people thought the one on that console kind of sucked. It was a digital compressor, and it was really pretty poorly coded shit. And on the 9099, the Brainworks improved this compressor, and it's a very awesome compressor now. You have an ambience like button here. If you were to push that down, you could hear the signal that's being compressed. So you can find out like what's being compressed. That's good information for an engineer to know, like, what am I compressing out of the sound? Am I compressing the right areas of the sound? And then and that's really for more so like checking. You could probably do it for a cool effect on something, but really it's for checking things. They also have auto release, which is cool. You can just touch this black button and you get auto release. So then it just releases based on the individual music you have. I may play around with that in the future, actually, because I always kind of like, instead of like, this is cool for default, but maybe auto release might be better for compression. I know that a lot of SSL stuff has auto release, so auto release might be something I may screw around with in the future. This is your makeup game knob. That's nice to give you a big knob for that. And then, of course, your wet dry mix for parallel compression. So you really slam your compressor, make it loud, and then back off on it to have the right amount of compression versus dry signal. Give you really cool, just beautiful tones out of that. Also, you're going into a limiter as a last ditch method, and you have a fast attack on your limiter, and you have a clipper. So you don't have a release here. If you hit clip, you're just going to clip it, and that's pretty cool too, that you can actually analog clip your signal if you like the effect of that on certain sounds. Also, the limiter has a makeup knob and a dry wet knob. That is pretty cool to give you so much like power and control over what you're doing. Auto listen is another button here. If you were to click that, that means when you grab and turn these frequency knobs, it'll isolate, so you could just hear the frequency so you could pick out what frequency you want to boost or cut, and you can actually just hear that. And then you have peak or glow. So, and then sheen. So peaking, I think it turns it from a shelf to a bell curve. And with it off, the high and low frequency knob is going to be standard slopes, like low frequency slope or high frequency slope, as opposed to a bell. And then, of course, your high mid and your low mid bell, that's there with adjustable Q knob. So you have a lot of, if you really just want to be like obsessed with finding the perfect tone, you can. Here, there's already default THD. It's very low, but you could. It's not off, obviously. It's there, but it's very low. This is pretty clean, so there's not a lot of grit. But you could smash it and grit it out if you want. You can also apply that to all the channels. Your V gain is your noise, your preamp noise and just console noise, and you could turn that loud if you want it for a certain effect, and you could apply it to all the entire session if you want to. I hit V gain all, just applying it there. You have a mono maker too, which so let's say you have like a bass frequency that's a little too spread out, and you go, I like the bass sound, it's just a little spread out. I just want to narrow that a bit. Turn that knob up, and you'll narrow the frequencies. It starts at 20 hertz. Anything below that will be mono, and you can just start go upwards with it, kind of like a zipper in a way, taking that what's separated and bringing it inward to give you the desired tone that you want. I mean, this is to me like this is also another thing too is you could switch these filters from input to like post, so like your output, or apply it to a side chain. Plus the control you have here, you have more tighter frequency bands to screw around with. I mean, it's just this thing is like a super console. And out of all the tools that I have for like working like on a channel, this is about as professional as you could get. I mean, another thing I didn't even really pay attention to is like these notch knobs. So I don't really want to fuck with it, but I'm thinking that changes maybe how tight or whatever the 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 loudness of a particular EQ, where you're boosting and cutting it. So you can probably make it tighter with notch, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you have like a notch and times like this is pretty crazy like control that you have over a sound. And then of course you have here on the right side, you have your phase flipper, right? So if you feel like two tracks are out of phase, let's say you're on your bass frequency and it seems like it's taking the power out of your kick drum, or you're on your kick drum, maybe you're layering kick drums and you feel like the kick drums are fighting against each other and making it sound thin, just flip the phase on one of the channels and then you'll get your bass back. That's nice. Analog digital just means you could either have a separate 46, 47, like right here, your left channel is different from your right channel. If you were to hit digital, it'll become both channels are identical. I like to leave it analog because I like a little bit of more non-linearities. Makes it sound more human. I think with the compressor, I don't know if they have a thing where you can take the compressor and make that like a mono compressor thing. Um, Maybe when you switch it to digital, it just does it. I don't know. But nevertheless, I mean, so much power at your fingertips here to make amazing music. For me, like, this is kind of why I've and plus, I mean, Rupert Neve designed this EQ. Like, oh, dude, it doesn't get any better than this, man. What a luxury console this is. And I mean, they have different modes for the UI. Like, you could make it look like a new one. So now there's no scratches. Or if you really want to be sexy with it, there's a dark mode. Like for vibes, like wouldn't that be great? Like at nighttime, you're working on something and you just want to switch it to dark mode and just that's pretty. God, that is pretty fucking sexy looking. I ain't gonna lie. But I like it in default. Like it's cool. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the aesthetic of the old Super Nintendo back in 1991. Like it has that scheme to me, a Super Famicom vibe to me, you know. So I like it like that. Like it just appeals to my nerdiness. But yeah, but the dark mode is just luxury right there. It looks like some kind of luxurious thing. Like maybe if I was working on some like really sexy R&B, maybe I'd change the UI just for that. Just for the feel. I may do that sometime. That's so cool. That is cool though. But I mean, we have all that at our fingertips. So anyway, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's your boy Vigilante Styles, and I'm out. Peace.